Namco over here, Dustin over here, and this is the most important preseason video you will watch. Fantasy Smack Talks running back rankings. Before we get into it though, top 200 cheat sheet, be sure to check that out up on the site. All our other tiers and rankings. You got any questions, post them in the forums. And real quick too, we do have a partnership with FanDuel this year. If you go in there and sign up, use promo code FST2013, all one line. You'll get 30% more if you deposit anything on there. So check that out. Brent, tier 1.
Yep, you don't hit enter or anything like that. Be one line. You mean no spaces. All right, tier 1. Adrian Peterson is in a tier by himself. Guy was sick last year, coming off that injury. Over 2,000 yards. But the one thing I really want to highlight is he caught the ball 40 times. That's the same amount as Arian Foster. So you just, PPR leagues, there's no reason not to take him. Number 1 overall in pretty much any format.
Tier 2, this is really basically from the first pick on the draft on. This will probably be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 5th in our case. We stop at 5 in tier 2. All these guys, very similar upside. We have Arian Foster just a little bit higher, but you cannot go wrong with Doug Martin, Marshawn Lynch, or Jamal Charles. All those guys, huge upsides this year.
All right, tier 3, going to highlight players 8 and 9 on our rankings, and that's Ray Rice at number 8. And I know what you're thinking, Bernard Pierce, there's so much upside, this guy's great. And it's true, he is. He's a very good football player. But Ray Rice only had 257 carries last year. We don't see that number really going up or down too much. And he had a very solid season with 9 touchdowns and 61 catches. You gotta love that. It's nuts. He's actually going to slip in drafts. Love if you can get him at the end of the first round. Then at number 9, I want to talk about Alfred Morris. We think RG3 is going to be ready for week 1, which certainly helps Alf out. And this guy was 2nd in the league in rushing behind Adrian Peterson. I bet you can win a few bar bets with that. Alfred Morris, great late round, first round pick as well.
And his nickname's Alf.
Yeah,
He's back.
From Melmac.
He's back. In
from
Pog,
Melmac.
in Pog form. Tier 4.
Good pull.
Tier 4, starting out number 11. This one will probably get talked about in all the comments below in the video. So we know we're ready for it. We know it's coming.
Bring it on.
But Monte Ball with Denver, there's just too much upside there. When you look at the guys we have ranked below him, he's just the most exciting pick at this point as far as the early 2nd round. The upside is just too high to pass on. Watch his college videos. This guy was amazing. For all those people that say Moreno's going to be in the mix and all this stuff, yeah, he might be, but he's not Monte Ball. Take a look at what this kid did. He's amazing. And the other guy I want to talk about, 14, is Steven Jackson. You're going to hear a lot about him with his new home with Atlanta. Much better offense, obviously, than the Rams. It could be interesting to see how he does. If he can stay healthy, it's very plausible for double-digit touchdowns and 14 plus 100 total yards. So huge upside for him this year with Atlanta.
All right, as we go to tier 5, highlighting 2 guys, and that's 20 and 21. The first one's Lamar Miller, out of the U, playing for Miami right now. This guy, he's got a big upside. We really like running backs that do come out of the U. He's got a little bit of competition with Thomas Sherr, but for a guy that you can get in the middle rounds, you're going to have to love the upside that he provides. And then number 21, this is a rookie that I really love, and that's Bell with the Steelers. I think out of all of the rookies, he's got the clearest path to being an every down back. He can catch really well, he can pass protect, and he's a monster. He's not going to, if you're in a league that counts like huge bonuses for long touchdowns, I don't think he's going to do that, but I think he's going to fall into the end zone plenty of times and have a very solid season.
In tier 6, the first guy in this tier is a guy that I think is a great kind of mid-round pick, and that's Ahmad Bradshaw. New home with the Colts. That young offense is really headed in the right direction. A lot of nice pieces on that offense. And I think Bradshaw's going to be a nice fit, get a ton of touches for them. And then 25, how the mighty have fallen, and Darren McFadden. We just really are ready to just give up on him basically as far as how low we're ranking him here. The upside's still there, but we don't see any reason to take a gamble on him in the first 2 rounds. Unless he slips, we say let someone else take him, but that offense is just so scary. But he's still got the upside.
They got worse.
How does that offense get worse?
They were so terrible. All right, as we go into tier 7, highlighting one of Dustin's favorites. He loves Bradshaw. I'm making him pay like triple in the auction for Bradshaw. But one of his favorites, that's Bernard with his Cincinnati Bengals. And there's a good reason why. Let me throw some stats at you. In college, 6.7 yards a rush. He had 10.4 yards a catch, and he had 47 catches in only 10 games. You gotta love that. He even returned 2 for touchdowns as well, so he was active in the return game. A lot of upside here. He's a speedster. He might not get a full accompaniment of carries, due to the law firm being there, but it's like Jamal Charles circa when he was with Thomas Jones. This guy's got big upside, speed, and breakout potential.
All right, a few people I want to highlight real quick in Tier 8. Isaiah Pead's the first guy out there with the Rams. Be very aware of what's going on with the Rams situation. There's a lot of people in the mix there, but as of right now, it looks like Pead's going to be the guy. But be aware that he has a one-game suspension to ender the season. Shane Vereen's another guy we really want to highlight, especially in PPR leagues. He's probably going to take over the Danny Woodhead role, so give Vereen very much attention in PPR leagues in the later rounds. And then the last guy I want to talk about in this tier is Jonathan Franklin for Green Bay. If you see higher in the rankings, we do have Eddie Lacy in front of him. But for my money personally in the draft, I think you wait and go for Franklin just a little bit later just because he's less of a gamble. Whoever does end up winning that job, though, is going to have a lot of value.
Watch our sleeper show. We go into a little bit more detail on the Franklin Lacy.
Yeah.
Little teaser that make you watch some other videos. All right, Tier 9. Going to talk about two guys, two backups, and that's Tate. First one's going to be Ben Tate. Obviously, there's a little bit of concern with Arian Foster right now. I don't know why it's getting so much press because we are a long way from the start of the season. But obviously, anytime Foster was down, Tate stepped up, great in the zone blocking scheme. Then got Bryce Brown, and the reason I want to highlight him is we have him ranked currently at number 41. There is the dog fighting, allegedly, charges, things pending, who knows exactly what it is right now. So we don't know, he's claiming he's the victim if something's happening. So just keep that in mind when you're watching this video, that's kind of what's going on right now. But if there's no suspensions, anything like that, he should get some decent work in an offense with Chip Kelly that's going to be moving the ball a ton, getting the backs in and out quite a bit.
Tier 10, first guy I want to talk about, Fred Jackson. You know, this guy, when healthy, can still do it, but at this point, he's an old man. I mean, in running back years, he's like 85. But, you know, keep a close eye on the injury reports. You know, if he's healthy, he still does have value, but at this point, they have to switch over to C.J. Spiller as far as the guy that's going to have the fantasy value out there. And then I did want to also talk about Danny Woodhead. New home with San Diego. I think he really kind of takes over what Sproles was to them a few years ago. And I think he has similar value with what he did in New England. And I think they're going to really utilize him and find creative ways to get him involved in the offense. I like his chances this year, obviously mainly in PPR leagues.
All right, Tier 11, just going to highlight Knowshon Moreno. As Dustin said, we're very high on ball. We had to put Knowshon in the rankings just in case. John Fox isn't a huge fan of rookie running backs, so you got to take that into consideration. If you get ball, maybe get Moreno late isn't so bad. Just in the slim chance something happens and Moreno starts first couple games, who knows?
Who knows, but
I doubt it. I think ball's going to be a beast.
So there's all our running backs. Get in the forums if you got any questions, and like you already will, go ahead and post all the comments that you want about these videos and our rankings. Even when you guys give us crap, we still like to hear it.
Still love you guys.
Nameco, Dustin. See you in the next video.